What's going on, everybody? Vince Goodrum here. It's Sunday evening and I'm just chilling out a bunch here, watching a lot of football lately here. Recently we just had a tornado watch around this area, so I'm a little late as far as filming any type of new videos for today here. But just wanted to touch base on a couple of things here. First off, I'm sure a lot of people have heard Mike Pence, he had actually walked out of the stadium whenever the Indianapolis Colts and the San Francisco 49ers were actually playing. Now, I'm not going to touch base on this too much because, simply put, this was simply a, publicity stunt. I mean, it was already expected. Donald Trump told him specifically, if there's anyone sitting, to go ahead and walk out there. And, everyone has to realize that, because of the given track record, there are going to still be some people kneeling and protesting, NFL football. That's perfectly fine. He has a right to, perform a publicity stunt. But, honestly, I think politics need to be, left out of the NFL, much less anything. But that's not the reason why I want to talk to you guys today. A few days ago, I published some information upon, white supremacists, publication of information by some IFBB pros here. And a lot of people thought I was trying to lean one way. And one thing about me is I don't lean any way, which way or the other, when it comes to white and black supremacists here. Because they're all the same, because each groups hate each other, not based upon, the content of their character, but simply put, they hate each other because of their ethnic background, something that everyone is born with there. But one thing in particular, I wanted to make this video to elaborate a couple of other things further on, mainly Black Lives Matter, because people have asked me if I'm a member of that organization. And I have to say the answer is no. The reason being is because, number one, Black Lives Matter has very little to do really with black people. I mean, there's a lot of black faces under it there. There's a lot of, a lot of the leaders are black. But for the most part, I see it much like every other organization. It's a lobbying group, a cash cow for other political organizations. Now, take this for example here. During the presidential election, when Bernie Sanders was actually running here, did you ever notice that, Black Lives Matter went and got up on his stage there and literally threw him off the stage there, and took over, a lot of his rallies here. And that's kind of unusual because Bernie Sanders was at the forefront of a lot of civil rights. And in fact, he was actually beaten and arrested by the police, back in the 60s. But yet, when it came to Hillary Clinton, who consequently worked for the Republican Party during that particular time, that's the opposite of anything else here, no protest took place there. They didn't throw her off stage one bit. So you have to understand the hypocritical nature of Black Lives Matter. And the truth of the matter is while you have these organizations, Black Lives Matter, and there's a couple of other little fringe groups, but, I'm not going to really discuss that too much. But when you have a lot of these organizations, they generally start out with good causes, or so it seems, but then you have to look at what they're actually focusing on. And all of these things in particular have nothing to do with empowering or enhancing the lifestyles of African Americans. I mean, taking down a statue, that is quite, to them it's quite important there, but, I don't see any real address upon black on black crime, nor do I see any real work on, the things that actually affect Black lives, such as building Black-owned and Black-operated businesses. By the way, this one, that being my website, Anabolic Mayhem, and my other businesses that I run, a medical supply company, they're all Black-owned and Black-operated. I don't see them doing hardly any work in order to improve that there. But the main thing is Black-on-Black crime there. And I'm not just talking about murders or anything, because you can always talk about Detroit and Chicago. There's always going to be a high murder rate, including in Miami as well here. But I'm talking about just regular, ordinary crimes, robbery, burglary, drug dealing, even though these are somewhat non-violent crimes, that being the drug dealing. Well, to be honest with you, they're not really non-violent there, because when you're dealing drugs and you're dealing a poisonous substance such as heroin or cocaine, to a person there, they're more than likely to, have serious health issues, or in order to get their fix for the cocaine or their crack, they're going to go and break into people's houses. And when you're high on drugs, you'll pretty much do anything, including, rape, murder, and kill, practically anyone that stands in your way of that little piece of crack rock there. So I don't see Black Lives Matter, much less any other organization, really working on truly what affects Black lives here. So here's my opinion, and I don't want to really get too down on this here. When it comes to Black Lives Matter, it's up to each individual person to pick and choose what they wish to do in life there. Every day that you wake up in the morning, put on your drawers, brush your teeth, eat your cereal and everything, you make a choice as far as what you wish to do today. Now, if you're unemployed, you can either sit around, watch TV, and, collect government benefits, be a lazy piece of shit, or you can go out and get a job there, no matter how small it is. I worked at Alltel for like 5 years. I made over $40,000 a year, and I was laid off in 2007. I did have to collect unemployment because I moved to an area to where I was still trying to look for a job that was similar to, what I was accustomed to as far as what I'm paying. But at the end of the day, the day the unemployment benefits ran out, I went ahead and took whatever job that was available. And that was unloading trucks at Walmart for, almost minimum wage. I think it was like $7.95 an hour is what I was starting out with there. That's not much money to unload trucks there, but, I still did it anyway, because, it's better to be working and being up on your feet there, than to be collecting any type of government benefits here. But, that's the real situation here. Even the person that's getting out of prison or jail, they have that ultimate opportunity, to change their lives even every day there. They can get up, get a minimum wage paying job, live in a crappy apartment there, and not break the law, and that's their decision they could make there. And they can build themselves back up into, where they're making a very decent and modest income and living a very, regular blue-collar lifestyle. That's the real truth about Black Lives Matter there, because the life has to matter only to you. Myself personally, I can only be responsible for the things that I do in life here. If I go and fuck things up here, if I go and rob someone, then, I have to expect the consequences here. And too many times, a lot of these organizations are actually defending criminals, including Black Lives Matter. They go out and defend black criminals here. If someone goes and robs my family, I'm not going to care if they're white or black. I want them strung up there, literally. I want the shit beat out of them there, much like any other person there, And some people say, well, the police needs to be a lot better in treating, suspects and everything, because they're innocent until proven guilty. Well, that's true, but if you have some guy running around with a gun going bang, bang like he's freaking the Oklahoma Kid or something there, what do you expect the police to do? If you're going out there robbing somebody else, if you go out there and rob somebody's house, and you get shot for it there, you know, and then you, all of a sudden, you know, I'm not going to go and say, well, he shouldn't have got shot. The police should have treated him better. You know, did anyone actually think that, well, maybe he shouldn't have been going in there, breaking in that house, or selling those drugs, or assaulting someone, or mugging someone, or raping someone? You know, crime is crime. Crime has no color. You know, it doesn't matter what the motive is for. It doesn't matter how hard their childhood was. That's a bunch of bullshit there. My childhood was hard. I grew up in Diva. But, you know, ultimately, I made the decisions, you know, to, you know, work hard and do what I have to do in order to, you know, live a relatively modest lifestyle, which, you know, now today, you know, I'm no longer making that $7.95. But I just went ahead and mentioned that just to prove a point there. When it comes to Black Lives Matter and a lot of these other organizations, I tell my nieces and nephews, you know, just stay out of these organizations there, because they're not going to do you any bit of good there. You know, you got to look out for yourself in this world there. And if you want to really donate to some causes, donate to some truly worthy causes. You know, world hunger, you know, like I said, the recent flood victims, you know, true things that act, you know, organizations that actually put their money where their mouth is. Don't donate to any of these lobbying organizations, which is what Black Lives Matter is here. And definitely don't donate to any of these alt-right organizations. Definitely don't do that there. You know, that money can be well spent. If you don't want to donate at all, that's perfectly fine as well. It's your money. You have a right to do what you want to do with it there. What you can do, what you should do, is save and invest that money into businesses there, or, you know, put it into something worthwhile, you know, for your kids there. You know, start up a college education for them, for example, you know, a college fund. You know, every little bit helps here. I mean, but ultimately, you know, I think it's about time that a number of people just need to start taking personal responsibility for themselves here. And the truly change Black lives, it's not going to be by yanking down statues. It's not going to be by yanking down Confederate flags. You know, it means getting on the ground and taking care truly of things that actually do affect Black lives here. Because that statue, I mean, it's just going to be, it's a statue. A flag is just going to be a flag there. But taking down any of these items does not affect the true issues of African Americans, of my own people there, which I dearly love there, you know, and, you know, want to make sure that, you know, the best comes to them there, you know. But that's all I got to really say about that there, as far as my opinion is concerned. As far as politics, you know, politics are kind of greasy there. Politics and religion, you know, they're sort of a greasy subject that I try to avoid most often there, because it's like stepping in a landmine. No matter which way you go, you know, you're going to get blown up anyway there. So you're not going to expect too much political talk from me there, but what you are going to get is, you know, just some real hard-ass evidence and facts regarding the situation there, you know, and I'm not going to sugarcoat anything, and I'm not going to put favoritism to one thing or another. This is a bodybuilding channel. You know, I speak about bodybuilding issues, fitness, and health issues 99% of the time, you know, and this year is just that 1% where I have to go somewhat political in terms of things, and that's simply because, you know, that's simply what the people want there. But that's all I got for Sunday. You guys take care. You know, brothers and sisters, y'all heed my words here. You know, stop fooling with these organizations. You know, like Bernie Mac said, look out for your goddamn self. Stank some bitch. Peace.